Are you starting to dread going on walks with your dog? Well, maybe this video will help. I'm going to be talking about how to walk a dog, proper starting techniques, all while teaching my mom, so maybe this will be helpful, and let's get into it. Alright, first thing you want to do is, of course, put your dog on his leash and stuff. I like to make sure, of course, don't get any of his fur into the collar, and yep. Good boy. A little bit of praise, especially if your dog is worried about this sort of stuff. And then, yeah, we're going to put the leash on. Try not to make a huge deal out of going to walks, out on a walk, because then your dog will just associate the leash and the collar, the whole thing, as being something we need to be crazy about. Okay, without further ado, let's do this thing. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you lead the way out the door. This sets the tone of your walk so that they know they need to follow you. So lead the way. Alright, to start with, we're going to talk about how to hold the leash. This is actually more important than you think it is, just so it's the easiest to control your dog. So I like to hold my leash like this. And the reason I like that is because I can give a quick correction just by moving my fingers. I've walked dogs many ways, but I tend to hold my leash like this. I give them a certain amount. You want it to be like not sagging. You don't want it to be like choking them. You just want it to be kind of a gentle pressure. So I like to hold my leash like this. Of course, this changes on the situation, whatever's coming up, but this is my favorite way to hold the leash. Sometimes I just put my pinky in different places, but that's not really relevant. So with that, I'm going to hand this over to you, Mom, and you will...
Okay, so you put your hand through the leash part, the end part, and then you just have it looped over. Okay.
Just have it looped over, just so you can give
and then
a quick... just so you can give, like...
I'm using this finger to correct?
No. You want to use your back fingers. So you want to... Here, let me... This is hard to go over this. I like to hold it like this. It's like...
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So this?
Yeah. So yeah, just, honestly, this is really just preference. I would just say just preference. Whatever you can use to just use your hand, like, so you're not going like this with your dog. So this is going to start off wrong right away. Not because of anything that's technically bad. You just have too much leash and your dog is out in front of you. So that's telling your dog that they're in the lead, so that will put them into a more aggressive or nervous state for a walk. So you get in control of him. You just want to make sure he has enough leash to be comfortable, but not too much to have too much control. And with that, just walk. Don't tell him anything, just walk. What you want to do is you want to teach the dog that they need to listen to you. Alright, now it looks like we're getting into the part where we're going to talk about corrections, and this is actually really important for walks. Take the leash quick, if you don't mind. Anyway. Okay, so corrections. This is really important. You can get my body, So this is important. I like to walk like this. I go forward, he pulls. What you want to do is you want to do quick release. So once the dog's in the position that you want them to be in, you want to make sure that you give the correction, just release the tension, because if you keep the tension, what's going to happen is your dog's going to get upset because they don't understand why there's still being a correction going on. So do keep that in mind. Another point is the corrections, especially this is the hardest part of it, is to get them in the right timing. So with Ret, if I don't want him to bark, if I see his ears perk up, I want to correct him there, because that will stop the brain from escalating into barking at a neighbor or another dog. So this would be a point when I would correct. Of course, he just sat down, but this would be a point where I would correct. So timing, you will start to learn to read your dog through the leash. This is how you talk to your dog. And so then you'll start to be able to do this without even looking. I can walk Ret and not even look at him and correct him. So with that, let's hand this over back to you, and we'll give you time to do this whole thing.
Let's go.
This is always a tough part, so don't worry.
Let's go. Come, Ret.
There we go. You did a good job. Correction, just quick. So you want to make sure that you have... So when his ears perk up and he starts looking forward, that's when you want to correct him to not fixate his attention. Having mom make sure that she has the correct amount of leash for him to have enough to be comfortable on, but not enough to be too long to use the correction on it, so where you have to take in too much slack. So that's what she's doing here. She's taking care of this problem, and you can see that they're going. She's definitely in control. He's not way out in front of her. He's not way behind her. They're just being a team, walking together, and he's enjoying life. And let's see her do a turnaround. See if you'll follow her. Just little confusion there, but that's okay. Quick turns. That's another thing you can do with your dog to teach them to pay attention to you on walks, is make quick turns. So this would be, yep, quick turns. Little corrections if they start fighting you. Just little, especially if you're starting. I wouldn't correct every time there's any sort of tension on the leash. Dogs do need to look at things. Just make sure it doesn't get out of hand. Alright, let's do a turnaround. That'll be another thing that you'll have to get down with your dog. Kind of getting the process down and just communicating with your dog as you're walking. You communicate to your dog through the leash. So just a little quick correction there. There we go. And so correct, release, correct, release. Relax your hand every time after you release, so your dog knows that that's the point where you want them to stop, that that's what you want, and then correct again, and then release. Just release. Like, don't release the leash, because that's against the point. But
So he keeps pulling against the leash, even though I correct and he's still pulling against it.
so sometimes the dog gets kind of stuck in just pulling. I don't know if you heard mom's question, but what it was is he's not stopping the behavior. What do you do at this point? Okay, that's a grand question. Sometimes you just need to completely stop. Just stop, restart, get them focused on you again.
Right.
Good.
Good boy. Okay.
All right, and then go again. Sometimes you need to switch your dog over to the other side. So if they're really pulling, like other side of the road or other side of your body entirely, what you do when you put them on the other side of his body is that you kind of make a psychological barrier for them. They say, I can't cross you, if they know who's in charge, of course. So if mom wanted to stop this behavior, she might just switch him over to the other side, reset, and then walk him like that. Of course, if you have problems with both sides, this won't work very well. This is just an easy kind of fix if you're having problems at the moment. So this would be a time for a quick correction. Like, don't jerk their head off. Just a quick correction. Like, be gentle about it. I always say once your dog is calm, then let them off the leash. Just so you don't have this thing where the dog associates the leash at the end of the training session with pulling, with being upset. I would have them sit, have them calm down, and then take the leash off.
Sit, Ret. Good boy. Good. Good job, Ret.
And he's off.